Hey there guys, Alex here, giving commentary for Battle of Kyhlo match, showing off my Berserker Thief. Right out of the gate, I dodge roll because it gives me swiftness, but I'm also moving with the 25% innate speed boost from Signet of Shadow. If you look down at my advanced skills, they're common for a sword pistol thief. A lot of people are going to use this set, but it's because they synergize well. So I'm able to blind this enemy, and then with my Venom, I'm able to root her and use Pistol Whip for a little bit of burst. But I see that a friend of hers has arrived, so I use Thieves Guild to give me breathing room. Then I use Withdraw to move me down the ramp and to heal at the same time. Then I get to do something cool. I Shadow Return to get back into the fight, but unfortunately I get stomped, and then I see there's a third enemy here, so I just evade and get out of there. Anytime I dodge, I stack Might. Then I also leave Caltrops behind me, and that slows down any pursuers. So I blind this enemy, I roll to gain some might, then I use Steal to Shadow Step towards her, and the stolen ability I get dazes her, so I set myself up for some burst here. And then all of a sudden she gets all these boons, so I find myself in a little bit of trouble, but a friend shows up, so I use that opportunity to heal, then I Shadow Return back into the battle, and I just swing my sword around until it stabs her right in the neck. Now, I do extra damage there because I have Executioner, which gives me 10% damage increase to any enemy under 25%, and when my endurance bar isn't full, I also do an additional 10% damage. Now, I'm moving to this window, and I'm going to do some specific things here. I have my range set out. I use Unload for a little bit of burst, but I want to apply Chill to stop that enemy's casting. It doesn't work, so I Infiltrator Strike in. I'm doing positional damage by attacking their side and back, but I'm in trouble, so I withdraw, and because I have a Shadow Return point in that window, I get a little bit of breathing room. So I set up another Shadow Return point on that window just in case there's trouble. I drop down here, I end up attacking a Mesmer clone, and my teammates are doing a really good job of burning down everybody, so I just jump into the fray. I'm not too worried. We're getting attacked from the side, and something really odd is going to happen here. I use Headshot to daze this guy, and then I try and use Infiltrator Strike to attack him, but it doesn't quite let me traverse the axis that I want, so I just stay on the point until we capture it. And then I use Withdraw to kind of move down the ramp here again, and I see that there might be an enemy nearby, so I roll because I want all the benefits that I get from rolling, and I see this healing turret near a choke point, and that kind of worries me, so I start attacking it. And then it blows up right in my face, and I don't know too much about engineer kits, so that really was a learning experience during this match. So I'm trying to move up here to set up in that window again because I really like that position, but I see someone drop behind me. I've already rolled, so I have some might. I use Unload here to get some burst, and I'm also trying to apply Chill again, but then I switch to my main set to set up a Shadow Return point so I can confuse this guy in battle. I get some more might when I roll. I use Pistol Whip, then Haste, then Pistol Whip again. It gets me some good burst, and I'm trying to do positional damage, but this guy has a defensive skill, but it keeps him in the same place, so I'm able to interrupt him and get in another hit, but I see all these mines, so I use Withdraw to get out of the way for a minute, then I use Infiltrator Strike to get in close again, and I'm trying to do side damage and positional damage, but he blows me back here, and I use a blindness ability there just to be safe. I don't really need to, because I'm able to burn him down pretty quickly with all of the additional benefits I get, especially Executioner in that case. So I roll to grant me some might. I move up here because I see someone's on the node, and I use Thieves Guild because I really just want to mess with this guy. So I use Unload too, I switch to my main set, I Infiltrator Strike to him, and then I'm just going to jump all around the battlefield to confuse this guy. I roll to drop some Caltrops to try and catch him, but then I'm just going to jump around and try and do positional damage to him. He uses a Fear ability right there, and I'm in a bad position because it almost knocks me right down the ramp, but my friend's up there, so he does some damage, but the enemy's getting away, so I roll to get some swiftness, and then I use Steal to get in close, and I'm attacking from behind, so I'm doing additional damage, and that ends up working well. I use Infiltrator Strike to get close to him, and it sets up a Shadow Return point there that I'm going to end up using in a minute, because I get the kill, and I see that my friend is attacking that engineer from before, but I'm afraid we might get, attacked from behind, so I use Return there quickly. I'm attacking here, I'm doing positional damage, it helps, but I'm also making a bit of a mistake. I neglect to use the ability that I stole from the other enemy from before, right? But it doesn't really matter, we get that guy down. My melee friend is running in here, so I'm just stacking bleeds, and I see that the entire enemy team's here, so I'm dropping caltrops, and then I try and do something specific with Infiltrator Strike. I set it up there so my return point's there, so when there's trouble in that choke point, I hit my Shadow Return, and I'm right there in a safe zone away from the enemies, and it also removes conditions. I use Withdraw to move away from the battle quickly. I drop caltrops behind me. I see this enemy. I feel like we can burn her down quickly, so I try and get in close, but her teammates start showing up, and I'm in kind of a tight spot, so I use my Signet of Shadows to blind the enemies who are in the area, and I use Withdraw to move up the ramp, because I think they might try and take this node, but I don't really see anybody who's trying to do it, so I'm going to move to set myself up in that window again. And then all of a sudden, we see the enemies coming in. One of them's marked, so I try and get up here, and then I put a bleed on him, but he moves out of the way, so I just use Unload on his friend here, and I move into the fray, and I use a blinding effect here, and it ends up helping me when this warrior gets in my face, but all these enemies are getting low on health, so I'm trying to just swing my sword and damage them, but I get hit with a fear ability again, but I see the guys down. I use Infiltrator Strike to get in and try and stomp him, but he knocks me back, but my friend still manages to get it. The match is going good. We only see a little bit of trebuchet fire, so I'm not too worried. I'm, rotating my camera to see what's going on. I see red down here and I attack, right? And it turns out it's just Mesmer clones. And Mesmers are the only real hard counter to this class, because if we attack the wrong person, we can use up a lot of our initiative really quickly, so it becomes a problem. Now the match is almost over. I see that there's a control point that the enemy team has. I see a teammate running towards it there. I roll to get swiftness to try and get in there, but the match ends. I do okay. I really like this build, and I managed to get to rank 12, which is always nice.